Welcome to the Medical Billing Blueprint podcast, where we break down the complexities of medical billing, revenue cycle management, and healthcare compliance. Join us as we explore strategies, tips, and industry insights to help doctors, practice managers, and medical staff optimize their billing processes and boost practice revenue. Let's get it right with the Billing Blueprint.
Ever feel like you're spending more time deciphering EOB forms than, actually with patients?
Oh, tell me about it. The struggle is real.
It's like medical billing, that necessary evil that just sucks the joy out of running a practice sometimes.
Yeah, and it's so much more than just sending out invoices, too. It's a whole beast.
Right. Which is why we're diving into Build Right today.
They promise to tame that beast, huh?
Exactly. You've been going through their material, so let's dig in. What is Build Right all about?
Well, they say they're not just medical billing, they're revenue cycle management, RCM.
Okay, I've heard that term thrown around, but what does it actually mean beyond just, billing?
So basic billing is like you provide a service, you send a bill, you hope for the best.
Right. Fingers crossed.
Exactly. RCM is like the whole enchilada, from the moment a patient walks in to making sure you're collecting every dollar you deserve.
So more proactive and strategic than just reactive billing.
Absolutely. Think of it as optimizing your entire financial flow.
Got it. So not just a Band-Aid, but a whole system overhaul. Now, before we go deeper, who exactly is this for? Is it just for massive hospital systems, or can a solo practitioner benefit too?
Good question. And they actually work with a huge range of practices. I saw they work with anywhere from 1 to 82 providers.
Oh, wow. Okay, so size isn't a barrier, and location?
Nope, they cover the whole U.S.
That's good to know. But there are a lot of billing companies out there making big promises.
Right.
What makes Build Right different? Why should our listeners sit up and take notice?
Well, one thing that jumped out at me was their focus on transparency. Yeah, they seem to get that practices are tired of being in the dark about their own finances. Not knowing where their money's going or what those reports actually mean.
Oh, for sure. I've heard some nightmare stories.
So they really emphasize having secure logins, giving you total access to your billing information.
So no more black box billing situation. You can actually see what they're doing.
Exactly. They seem to be all about giving you control and visibility.
Okay, that's a big plus. But data's one thing. What about actual results? Are they actually getting practices paid what they're owed?
Well, they claim a 99% claim accuracy rate.
Wow, seriously?
And 94 to 97% of claims paid on the first submission.
That's got to be way higher than the average, right?
Yeah, the industry standard is closer to 95% accuracy. So even a few percentage points can make a huge difference.
Especially for a busy practice. We're talking potentially thousands of dollars just from less denials and back and forth.
Exactly. And less time chasing down payments means more time for, actually treating patients.
Music to every provider's ears. Faster payments, fewer headaches. I mean, what's not to love? But I gotta ask, are we talking about some super sophisticated AI doing all this, or are there actual humans involved in this process?
That's the thing. They really emphasize the team aspect.
No.
Like when you sign up with Build Right, you're not just getting software. You're getting a whole team dedicated to your account.
Interesting. So how many people are we talking about here?
It's not just one person. They said teams of 8 to 20 people.
Wow. Okay, so actual humans who get to know your practice, your specific needs.
Yeah, it's not just algorithms crunching numbers.
Yeah. That's reassuring. But what about experience? Are these fresh out of school, or do they actually have some serious billing chops?
They actually highlighted the experience of their team a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Managers have, on average, 15+ years in revenue cycle management.
Okay.
And even their team members, they have a minimum of 2 to 4 years of experience.
Oh, wow. That's not nothing.
Yeah, so you're not, their first rodeo.
Right.
Right.
Okay, good to know. But let's talk about the big scary thing in healthcare, which is compliance. Data security, all that.
Right. Got to be on top of that.
Huge. So what do they say about all that?
They say they have a whole comprehensive plan in place, covering all the security protocols.
Okay.
And they actually make the plan available to their clients.
Oh, interesting.
So you can actually see it, review it yourself.
That's a good sign. I like that transparency.
Yeah, it builds trust.
It does. But, okay, we know medical billing, it's not static. There are new codes, new regulations all the time.
Constantly changing, yeah.
How do they stay on top of all that?
They made it a point to mention that their coders and their account managers are ICD-10 certified.
Okay, so they're not just like plugging in numbers, they actually understand the why behind it all.
Yeah, they understand the codes, how to adapt to all the updates and changes.
That's crucial because you don't want your billing held up because someone's using last year's codes or something.
Exactly.
And speaking of being on top of things, let's talk about support because we all know that 24/7 support is like the holy grail.
Right, everybody promises it.
But do they actually deliver?
Well, they claim to.
Okay.
24/7, 365 days a year. They say they're there.
So if it's 2:00 a.m. and you realize, oh my God, there's a problem with this claim, you can actually get someone on the phone.
That's what they're saying.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty impressive if they can pull that off.
Yeah, that's real peace of mind.
It is. But let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about, practices already have systems in place. Do they have to throw all that out the window to work with Build Right?
That's actually something they addressed. They said they don't require you to use their own software.
Oh, interesting.
They can integrate with your existing practice management software.
Okay.
So they're flexible.
So they're not trying to shoehorn you into their way of doing things.
Nope.
That's good. And we talked about, different sizes of practices, but what about specialties? Are they like, oh, we only do family practice, or are they open to different specialties?
They had a whole list of specialties they work with. Internal medicine, family medicine, cardiology, and gastroenterology, nephrology, vascular studies, even physical therapy, chiropractic,
Wow, okay.
general surgery, dermatology, walking clinics, mobile clinics. Oh, and psychiatry.
It sounds like they've got it pretty well covered.
Yeah, they said many more. So it seems like they have experience with a wide range.
So it seems like they've really thought about what practices need and what the pain points are, and they're trying to address them head on.
Yeah, definitely. They seem to get it.
Okay, but as with anything, we've uncovered a lot of good stuff here. It seems really promising, but of course people need to do their own due diligence. Right?
Oh, absolutely. Every practice is different.
Right.
What works for one might not work for another.
Exactly. So as you're considering Build Right, maybe comparing them to other options, here's the thought. How important is that human touch
Oh, that's a good one.
versus like pure technological efficiency? Like, would you be okay with a slightly lower claim accuracy rate if it meant you had a more like personalized hands-on team?
Right. That's the trade-off, right?
Yeah,
Do you want the high tech or do you want the personal touch?
exactly. And there's no right or wrong answer, but it's something to think about as you're kind of figuring out what's important to you.
Right.
Because it's not just about checking boxes of features.
Right.
It's about finding a partner that really understands your practice and what you're trying to do.
Aligns with your values.
Yes.
And your goals.
Exactly. Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into Build Right. Hopefully, this gives everyone a good foundation, as they're researching and trying to make these decisions.
Definitely. Lots to think about.
There is. And, as always, knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
So the more informed you are, the better decisions you can make for your practice.
Couldn't agree more.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
My pleasure.